This is the holiday startup business book giveaway. I'm giving away all of these books, no catch. I'm telling you, some of these are a little bit marked up, like highlights, but as long as you live in Chicago and you want one of these books, I will give it to you for free. So if you're working on a startup or looking to start some kind of business, or you know someone who would really benefit from some knowledge to do that, then hit me up. And if you don't live in Chicago, all that I'd ask is that you pay for the shipping. I like to always be learning, but there's a certain point where the whole intellectualizing thing, the benefit just goes down. But if you have a couple of these books, I'm telling you, you will get the benefit. All I need you to do is share this video or share the link to my channel, and then prove to me that you shared the link. You can send me an email, DM me on Instagram, message me on Twitter. So you can send me a screenshot of your post, you can send me a link to the shared post, whatever. As long as you share this video or the link to my channel, and then you can show me that you did that. So now, I'm going to give you a rundown of each book so you know this knowledge that you're getting. First of all, I got the Steve Jobs biography. I should say less. I got the biography of Richard Branson. Richard Branson is the founder of Virgin Group, which is Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Mobile, etc., etc., etc. Virgin, there's a lot of Virgin in the world, and his life is pretty incredible. He's a big personality. I got Originals. This is about the behavior and thoughts of original thinkers. Product Leadership. This gets into the more technical side of building a startup. Unless you're actually trying to build a startup right now, or you're really intent on doing it, you're not just kind of curious about it, then this is good for you. Because it talks a lot about product management and making sure that you're saying no to the right things, and making sure you're prioritizing the right things, and making sure that your team is productive and on task. And it's very specific to each stage of a company. So when you're starting up, when you're getting some market fit, and then when you're an actual enterprise. Change by Design. This one is one of my favorites, I'm telling you. It's from the design innovation company IDEO, one of the most famous design firms in the world. And the founder, Tim Brown, tells you about how we can use design to shape our organizations, our businesses, and our societies in general. It's really super crazy. High Output Management. This one is more of a classic. It was written in the 80s by Andy Grove from Intel. It's just about really, really effective management, and that you should be measuring your results more on the output that you create. I don't know, it's a classic. Crossing the Chasm. This one is also a classic. It's about getting your product or your service from the early adopters, so people who are willing to deal with bugs and early issues of whatever you're creating, to the mainstream market. So how do you get people who are really wanting to try things and crossing this gap between them and the majority of consumers? The Lean Startup. I don't know if I should even say more. One of the most famous startup books, maybe the most famous startup book, talks about the Lean Startup method. I'm not going to get into that right now. MVPs, minimum viable product, how to rapidly test whatever you're building so that you can validate that there's a demand for it, and then make sure that you're working more efficiently. Like, that really changed my thinking though. The Hard Thing About Hard Things. This is by the man Ben Horowitz. I'm telling you, Ben Horowitz is one of my favorite business people on this planet. This man does not take himself too seriously, but at the same time is very serious. He works with a lot of hip-hop artists. Because I'm close with a lot of hip-hop artists, that has like a special place in my heart, because there's something about business and startups and the grind of music and hip-hop. There's something very similar about it. The hustle and the trying to get from idea to reality. Ben really goes in depth about how there's no formula to business success. All these how-to guides are essentially bullshit, because at the end of the day, you're just gonna have to deal with the hard decisions that you will have to make if you want to build something successful. Only the Paranoid Survive. This is also Andy Grove, the high output management guy. And it talks about inflection points. So when technology is fundamentally changing and your business is already established, how you can either ride with the wave and go extremely successful, or you basically crash and burn. You know what I'm talking about. Big companies that fail to adapt to changing markets, and then when you're already established, and the more established you are, the methods that work for you today are the methods that will inhibit you from changing course and changing your technology. So to make that big shift is really hard, but it pays off immensely, and it's really the only thing you can do. The Innovators Dilemma, it talks about how a lot of what makes good management actually works against you when you're trying to innovate. So people often think that companies fail because people don't work hard enough, or people are dumb or lazy, and this is not true, or that they're just not innovating, period. But a lot of companies do try to test a lot. They just don't test on a radically risky enough scale to really make that impact, because it usually seems like a bad idea. Innovators Solution, basically how to solve the Innovators Dilemma. Should I say more? This is about hiring. It talks a lot about how to hire A players, which is something that I really hate, because do you expect that people are trying to hire idiots? It's good because it talks about other stuff like referrals, how some of the best talent you can get is just by asking other really talented, smart people you know, because naturally smart people will know other smart people. That's all I have right here, but there's actually 2 other books that I don't have with me right now. I'll pull up the pictures. I got The Alliance. This was written by Reid Hoffman, who's the founder of LinkedIn, and it talks about how to manage talent in the new age. The main idea is based around when you're trying to get someone to work with you, work on your project, work on your business, what you're telling them is that you're going to help their career, their personal career grow and become successful, and they're coming in so they can make your business grow and become successful. And then radical transparency, so like being really honest with the people that you hire and asking them what they think they want to do after their position, and establishing like a rough timeline for how long you think a person should be involved in your organization. Then we got 0 to 1, Peter Thiel. A super investor. He did support Donald Trump. Nah, I'm not gonna get into politics. If you're from Chicago, you know how people from Chicago feel about Donald Trump. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, and he talks about how the next Bill Gates will not build software. The next Google will not be a search engine. How the next big ideas, you can't base off what's already great, and you have to look for the unobvious. And he talks a lot about how competition is for losers, and you want to kind of not even think about competing so hard, but really distinguishing yourself as something completely separate and capturing your own or creating your own market. Those are the books. This is the holiday giveaway. If you live in Chicago, once again, I will come to you and give you one of these books. If you live outside of Chicago, all I would ask is that you pay for the shipping. What you gotta do to get one of these is share this video or share the link to my channel to get this knowledge. But once you share the link, show me proof that you shared the link. You can Instagram DM me, you can send me an email, you can message me on Twitter with a screenshot of your shared post or a link to your shared post. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Alright guys, stay learning, stay building, stay innovating, and I'll see you next time.